Trump mobilizes up to 1,700 National Guard troops across 19 states amid escalating immigration and crime enforcement efforts. Washington, D.C., August 24, 2025. In a bold and sweeping move, President Donald Trump has authorized the deployment of up to 1,700 National Guard troops to 19 predominantly Republican-led states as part of a multifaceted strategy to bolster immigration enforcement and combat rising crime rates. The operation, which Pentagon officials describe as a force multiplier for federal agencies like the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) and Immigration and Customs Enforcement (ICE), is set to commence in the coming days, with troops providing essential administrative and logistical support rather than direct law enforcement actions. 5759 This deployment marks one of the most significant uses of military resources for domestic operations in recent history, drawing on lessons from past border security efforts while expanding the scope to address broader national security concerns. The states selected for this mobilization include Alabama, Arkansas, Florida, Georgia, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Louisiana, Missouri, Nebraska, Nevada, New Mexico, Ohio, South Carolina, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, and Wyoming, a list that notably avoids major Democratic strongholds, potentially to minimize legal and political friction. 6371 Texas, long a focal point for border-related issues under Operation Lone Star initiated by Governor Greg Abbott, will host the largest contingent of troops, with estimates ranging from several hundred to over 1,000 personnel dedicated to southern border hotspots. 64 other states will see smaller deployments, typically between 14 and 70 troops each, focused on tasks such as data entry, fingerprinting, DNA collection, and managing detention facilities to free up federal agents for fieldwork. 6768. White House officials have been quick to clarify that this rollout is distinct from Trump's recent high-profile crime suppression initiative in Washington, D.C., where over 2,000 National Guard troops have already been activated, some now authorized to carry weapons for the first time in such operations. 5770 inches These Guard activations were planned well in advance and are specifically tailored to support ICE's administrative needs in processing illegal immigrants, a senior administration spokesperson stated during a briefing on Saturday. Former acting ICE Director Tom Homan, now serving as Trump's border czar, echoed this sentiment, emphasizing the troops' role in enhancing efficiency. This isn't about arrests, it's about enabling our agents to focus on enforcement while the Guard handles the back-end logistics. 6367. The decision comes amid a broader context of Trump's aggressive immigration agenda, which he outlined during his 2024 campaign and has begun implementing since his inauguration in January 2025. Drawing from Project 2025, a policy blueprint crafted by former administration officials, the plan includes expanding detention capacity to over 50,000 individuals and leveraging military assets for mass deportations. 4550 By April 2025, the detained population had already approached 50,000, with ambitions to double that figure through enhanced operations. 50 This latest deployment operates under Title 32 authority, placing the troops under state governors' command and exempting them from the Posse Comitatus Act, which restricts federal military involvement in civilian law enforcement. 11 Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth approved the switch from Title 10 to Title 32 status in July, adapting to ICE's evolving requirements. 11 Reactions to the deployment have been sharply divided along partisan lines. Supporters, including many Republican governors, hail it as a necessary step to restore law and order. Texas Governor Greg Abbott praised the move on X, stating, "Finally, federal support to secure our borders and deport criminals. This is what America voted for." 2225 Conservative commentator Charlie Kirk echoed this enthusiasm, noting the rapid execution. This would take any other admin 3 to 6 months and 5 committees. Trump moved in a matter of hours. 22 On X, users like @NixOrder celebrated the action as fulfilling campaign promises, with posts garnering thousands of likes and reposts. 24 Critics, however, view the mobilization as an overreach with authoritarian undertones. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker accused the administration of manufacturing a crisis in Chicago, where separate Pentagon plans for military deployment are reportedly in the works. 3339 Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson dismissed any unilateral action as illegal and potentially inflammatory, warning it could erode trust between communities and law enforcement. 3569 Similar sentiments emerged from officials in New York and Los Angeles, with New York Governor Kathy Hochul stating, "We won't allow our cities to become battlegrounds for political theater." 39 Progressive voices on X, such as at Krassenstein, drew parallels to hypothetical Biden actions, questioning the implications for civil liberties. 128. The scale of this operation builds on prior activations under Trump. In June 2025, 2,000 National Guard troops were dispatched to Los Angeles to quell protests related to immigration policies, while D.C. has seen an influx of over 800 armed guardsmen amid a 550% surge in carjackings since 2018. 3962 Analysts suggest the choice of red states is strategic, leveraging cooperative governors to sidestep legal hurdles, though the average of about 89 troops per state has led some to label it more symbolic than transformative, especially when compared to historical mobilizations like the 50,000 troops during Hurricane Katrina. 11. Can the number be increased? Pentagon sources indicate that the current ceiling of 1,700 troops is flexible, with provisions for scaling up based on operational needs. 5964 Trump has publicly signaled his intent to expand deployments, remarking in a recent address, "We're looking to continue sending troops to major cities where crime is out of control." 37 potential targets include Chicago, New York, and other urban centers plagued by high crime rates, though any extension to blue states would require governor consent and could invite lawsuits under the Posse Comitatus Act. 3247 As of now, only a fraction of the troops, about 2%, have mobilized, providing ample room for adjustments. 16. The announcement has ignited fervent debate on platforms like X, where hashtags like #MAGA and #National Guard trend alongside criticisms of potential overreach. 08 supporters argue it's a fulfillment of electoral mandates, while detractors warn of a slippery slope toward militarized policing. 28 As the troops prepare to activate, with initial rollouts possibly starting August 25 in states like Virginia, the nation watches closely for how this operation unfolds amid ongoing immigration challenges. Potential effects of the deployment. While the full ramifications remain to be seen, experts anticipate multifaceted impacts across economic, social, political, and psychological dimensions. Economically, mass deportations facilitated by this military support could exacerbate labor shortages in key industries reliant on immigrant workers, such as construction, agriculture, hospitality, and national emergencies, potentially driving up costs and disrupting supply chains. 5152 Critics highlight the high financial burden, with daily costs for similar operations in D.C. alone reaching $424,000, extrapolating to millions monthly across 19 states. A strain on taxpayer resources amid claims of fiscal conservatism. 1. Socially, the presence of troops could heighten tensions in immigrant communities, fostering fear, reduced cooperation with law enforcement, and potential civil unrest, as seen in past deployments. 4169 Politically, it risks deepening partisan divides, with blue states mounting legal challenges that could tie up resources and erode federal-state relations, while bolstering Trump's base ahead of midterms. 3748 Psychologically, veterans involved may face moral injury, leading to increased suicides, family disruptions, and confrontations, compounding the human cost of militarized domestic policies. 54 Overall, while aimed at enhancing security, the deployment could inadvertently amplify societal fractures, with long-term effects on America's democratic fabric and economic stability.